Hi folks, hope you all had a great long weekend and you managed to get outside to enjoy the snow. This week we will be doing some consolidation work on what we've learned about elements, mixtures and compounds. You'll see from the success criteria that you should be able to state what is meant by an element, you should be able to state what is meant by a mixture, you should also be able to state what is meant by a compound. You should be able to identify elements, mixtures and compounds from different diagrams. And you should be able to use the periodic table to find information on some elements. As usual, there will be a checklist that you can find on the Teams page and in the Files tab. Because of the long weekend, this week is a bit shorter, so you don't have as much work to do this week compared to other weeks. If you're watching this video, well done, you're already completing the first task of the week. If you need to find the video again, you'll get it on the Teams page or by clicking the link at the top of the checklist here. Your second task is to go to the Teams page, go to Files, click on the folder called Number 1 Elements and Periodic Table. Then click on the folder that says Number 5 Elements Tasks Week 5 and has 17th of February on it as well. And then in there you should find a Word document called Elements, Compounds and Mixtures Questions. This is just a few questions on elements, compounds and mixtures. You can write the answers to the questions in your jotters or on paper, or you can download a copy of the Word document and type your answers into your own copy. When you've answered all the questions, you can then upload your answers using the Assignments tab. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So when you open up the file, you'll see Elements, Compounds and Mixtures questions at the top of the first sheet. For question 1, you're going to find a use for each element that is listed in question 1. So there's 6 altogether. So all you do is look online, find a use for each of these elements and put them down either on paper or in your own copy of the Word document. Second question, you're going to need to find your copy of the periodic table to get the answers. So you're going to find the atomic number of the 4 elements that are listed here. Remember, the atomic number is the number above the symbol of the element in the periodic table. And then for the last part of question 2, you're going to possibly need to use an online resource to find the answer for this. You're looking for the non-metal element that conducts electricity. So that an element which is a non-metal and it conducts electricity. Find the name of that online, then use your periodic table to find the symbol for that element. And that's your answer for the last part of question 2. For question 3, think about what we've learned about elements, compounds and mixtures to answer the following questions. So you're looking at A, B and C. And for C, you're going to need to look at the 3 diagrams at the bottom. And you're going to state whether the picture represents an element. So which one, A, B or C, which picture represents an element, which picture represents a compound, and which one represents a mixture. For question 4, you are given a paragraph of information about elements that are found on our planet. You're going to read the information from the paragraph and then you're going to draw a table to show this information. And the table should have 2 columns. And make sure that you use suitable headings for each column. And you're basically just taking the information from the paragraph and putting it into your table. And then the last question, number 5, you'll see that there's a part of the periodic table included, and in each box, you'll see in some of the boxes, not in each box, you'll see in some of the boxes there is a number. Now the numbers don't represent any of the elements or atomic numbers, so the numbers shouldn't look as if they're in the right place, because they're not. They've just picked different boxes in the periodic table based on where they are. So based on whether they are the left, on the right, you'll see some numbers are in the same column, you'll see some numbers are in the same row. So don't worry about what elements are in these boxes or what atomic numbers should be in these boxes. They've just picked out random places in the periodic table. And this is going to help you recap what we learned about positions of elements in the periodic table and what information the place an element is in the periodic table can tell us about that element. So you're going to look at this part of the periodic table. You're going to find 3 numbers that show elements that are in the same period as each other. Okay, and if you remember back, a period is a row in the periodic table. You're then going to find which 3 numbers show 3 elements as part of the same group. So you're looking for the 3 numbers that are all in the same column, up and down the way as each other. You're then going to look at which 2 numbers could represent 2 metal elements. So remember which side of the periodic table metals are found. Which numbers could represent 2 metals which have similar properties. Now if they're in the same group, they're going to have similar properties, so think about that. Then think about where you find non-metals in the periodic table. Which side are they found on? Find 2 numbers that could represent 2 non-metals with similar properties. So again, similar properties means they should be in the same column. And then for the last 3 parts of question 5, you're finding a number that is in the alkali metal group. So which number is in the correct column for alkali metals? Which number's in the correct column for halogen elements? And which number's in the correct place for transition metals? So you're just looking for the numbers that are in the right place in this periodic table for each question. Once you've finished all the questions, you can upload your answers using the Assignments tab. And your final task of the week is called the Cartoon Elements Sheet. Again, you'll... see if I can get that. Yep, Cartoon Elements Sheet, which is going to give you more practice using your periodic table. You're going to find the symbols for the elements that are in each row. And when you write all the symbols, they are then going to spell out the name of a cartoon character. Some of the characters you might have heard of, some of them you might not. You don't need to submit this using the Assignments tab. It's just a wee bit of fun, and we'll let you know the answers on Monday. You'll find that in the same place on Teams, and it should look like this. So the idea is you are going to look at each row of elements. So the first one here we can see is tungsten, oxygen, oxygen again, and dysprosium. So you're going to find the symbol for tungsten, and you're going to write that symbol down. You're then going to find the symbol for oxygen, and you're going to write that down twice because oxygen's listed twice. And then you're going to find the symbol for dysprosium, and that's going to go in at the end. Now a clue for number 1 to get you started is if you look at this picture here on the left hand side. That gives you a clue as to what cartoon character you should be spelling out. And then you're going to do that for the others that are on the sheet. For each row, find the symbol for each element. So that's all your tasks for this week. Just a reminder that you can still complete the tasks from the previous few weeks. You can complete this work and submit it using the Assignments tab. If you can let me know on Teams if you submit any assignments from previous weeks so that I can have a look at your work and give you some feedback. Please come to join in the live drop-in sessions. The dates and times for that will be posted on the Teams page. If you've got any other questions at any other time, please post them on the Teams page so I can give you some help. Have a good week and I'll speak to you all soon.